Alright, so this is the last part. This focuses on using line segments guided by grids. Okay, so without any further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so we are in Adobe Illustrator and we're going for 12 inches by 12 inches, and between CMYK and RGB you can pick RGB if you want to print CMYK, but I'm choosing CMYK. Now let's click create. Now the first thing I'm gonna do is import the sketch of the logo that I did. Okay, so the product of the mind mapping that I did, I'm going to place it here before we start from there. Okay, so I'll go to the folder containing the image, so I'll drag this guy in there, and then I'll zoom out using the alt and the scroll on the mouse. Okay, or you can use the zoom tool right here. Okay, so with that you can just toggle the plus and the minus, then you can zoom in and zoom out. Okay, so let's zoom out again and resize it on the artboard, and in resizing you can hold the shift and alt to have a perfect shape resized. And then I'll try and place it in the middle of the artboard. Now let's go to view from here, and then let's click on show grid. All right, so we have the grid, and on the control panel you see opacity here, so you lower the opacity of the image, okay, so that we can see the lines when we draw them. Okay, so I'll go ahead and tweak the size a little. Okay, so we are good. Now let's go to the layers panel and then lock it and create a new layer on top of it. All right, so now we are going to use only lines for this particular logo. All right, and we can use the pen tool or the line tool, but you can check my beginners tutorial on Adobe Illustrator where I explain further how to use the pen tool and the line tool. So in this tutorial I'm going to use the line tool. All right, so I've grabbed the line tool, and the first thing I'm going to do with this is to make a line of symmetry. So I'm going to click the top here and then come down and click. All right, okay, and from there I can have the rest of the line. So I'm coming to start from the top here and have the first diagonal line. Okay, you just don't need to follow exactly what's on the paper. Okay, it's just there to guide you, but you just need to make sure you have your straight lines or diagonal lines in place. So I'm going to take the diagonal line from here with the line tool. I'll just click and then move my mouse somewhere here and then click again and then release. Now we need to duplicate this line. All right, so when you hold alt and then you click on the line, then you drag, you can duplicate this line. Okay, so you place that one here. So now let's drag over these two lines to select them and then increase their length. All right, then let's click on this line, hold alt and drag it here. And once again, the sketch on the paper is just there to guide us. All right, not necessarily placing the lines on them as it is on the paper. All right, okay, so hold alt and duplicate this line here. Now what we need to do is select these two lines right here. So I'll drag over them and then hold alt and then click and drag to duplicate these lines here, but make sure the second line falls on top of the line that's already there directly. All right, yeah, like this. Then you go ahead and click to select the one on top, then you press delete on the keyboard to delete. So we are left it only one. So when I drag it here, you see that it's only one. Let me undo that. Then after that we are going to select these two guys right here and then hold alt, then you click and you drag them here, and this time to make sure the second one falls on the line that's already there. All right, then since they are on top of each other, when you click on it you select the top one, then you hit delete on the keyboard to get rid of the one on top. Okay, so now we just need this straight line right here, so we are going to hold alt and drag this guy here. All right, so this is becoming interesting. Now don't worry about the other side. Okay, I mean the right side. We are just doing the lines on the left, then after that we reflect them to the right. Okay, so if I drag, let me undo the straight line that we just did. Okay, so Ctrl Z, I undo that, and let's get these two diagonal lines before we get the straight line back, and then we reflect it. Okay, so let's get the line tool, and then using the grid you just get a diagonal line from here. So right now you just press A on the keyboard for the direct selection tool, then you click on this anchor point to increase it. You can check my beginners tutorial video on Adobe Illustrator to see how I explain the direct selection tool. So let me place it right here and then hold Alt and then click and drag to duplicate this diagonal line down here. Okay, so now we are good with that, so let's go and duplicate this vertical line here. All right, then after that we just select everything except vertical line that I used as a line of symmetry. Okay, so I'll go ahead and drag over all the lines except the line of symmetry. Okay, and I'll right click and then come down here to transform and then click on reflect. Okay, so it is reflected to the right. All right, now make sure you click on copy instead of clicking OK so that you have a duplicate. Okay, so if you click on copy, it maintains the first one and gives you the reflected one as well. So with the copied lines still selected, right click and then group them, or you can use the shortcut Ctrl+G. Okay, so after grouping them, you just move them to the right, okay, to make them in line. Then you can zoom in to make sure that they are intersecting on the line of symmetry. So you can check the top and the bottom, then you can see that they are all intersecting at the line of symmetry. All right, so here you don't need any compass because we are not doing math. All right, so let's right click and then ungroup the lines that we grouped. Okay, so now here is the most crucial part, okay, because we are going to use the tool called the shape builder tool. Okay, and it is that tool that we are going to use to craft out this logo. Okay, so if you don't get it for the first time in this video, kindly check my beginners tutorial on Adobe Illustrator. The link is in the description. Okay, so from the layman's view, this is a messed up lines. Okay, just crossroads. All right, but from a designer's view, he actually knows there is a logo in that. Okay, and another reason to import your sketch is when I turn off the visibility, it makes it difficult to craft out the logo. All right, so with the sketch at the background, it makes it easy using the shape builder tool. All right, so now I'm going to drag over everything including the line of symmetry, and then you can use the shortcut keys Shift+M on the keyboard for the shape builder tool, or on the tools panel. Here it is. So we grab the shape builder tool and we are going to use the sketch in the background to bring out the logo. So when you hold Alt on the keyboard, you can see that the plus sign under the cursor turns to minus, and when you release, it comes back to plus. So when you hold Alt and it turns to minus, what it means is that you want to delete some lines or shapes from the selected lines. Okay, so right now we are going to take out or delete the excess lines that we don't want to make the logo simpler before we just tackle the interior itself. Okay, so when I hold Alt and then drag over these lines, they get deleted. Okay, so when I hold Alt and drag over the lines that I don't want, they disappear, so it means we've deleted them. Okay, so we are going to drag over these guys, then come here and drag over these, drag over that, and drag over these. Okay, so now it's more simpler. So you continue to delete the excess that we don't want. Okay, and you should use the sketch behind it to help you take out the unwanted lines. And still my hand is on the Alt key as I delete these lines. Okay, so after deleting the excess, we need to unite the smaller shapes into one shape at the places where we want. Okay, because the intersections create smaller shapes, so we just need to unite them. So anywhere that you hover your mouse that gets highlighted by those halftones, it means it is a shape, so we just need to unite or merge them together. So in order to do that, this time we won't hold Alt, okay, because the default sign is plus, which means we want to unite. So when you drag over the shapes that you want, they get united. So this time we are going to drag without holding Alt. So if I drag from here and release, they get united. Okay, so anywhere that you drag, it combines the shapes. Okay, and a possible shape is highlighted by those halftones. Okay, so when you hover, anywhere you hover, you see the shape there. So when you drag, you combine those shapes. And hovering on that, you can see the shapes that we've combined into a single shape. So I will take the path at the top here because I'm using the sketch behind. So where I've shaded is where I will follow. Okay, so I'll start from the top here and then follow where I've shaded. So I'll drag over that to combine all the shapes along that path. Okay, so I will join this part here and now I need to delete these guys. Okay, so I'll hold Alt and then delete where there is spaces or there are spaces. Okay, so I'll just drag over these lines to take them out. So when I hover on it, you can see that we have the bigger portion combined. Okay, now I have to take out these guys to make a space over there as it is on a paper. Okay, now you may think we combine everything along the path, but if you look closer, you can see we left out small shapes created by smaller intersections. Okay, so what we need to do is select everything again and then go for the shape builder tool and then zoom in to those places and then drag over them to add them to the bigger shape. Okay, so I'll just come here, zoom in on this guy too, and then drag over it to add it to the bigger shape. All right, so you can check for places or smaller spaces left out. Okay, but if you're good, and then we move on from there. So in creating the lines, there's a place that I left out, so let's go back for the line tool and create this diagonal line right here. Now you right click, you come to transform, reflect, you click on copy, you move it to the right. Okay, you make sure you zoom in to see that they are okay. Now let's select everything again and then grab the shape builder tool. Without holding Alt, drag to add it to the shape. And now these two lines that are left out, in situations like this, you can hold Alt and drag over the line to get deleted, else you will delete the bigger shape. Okay, and you can use the plus also to drag it and add it. Okay, so what you need to do is make sure you are on the line, hold Alt to turn it into minus, and then you don't drag but you click once on the path or on the line to delete the line from it. So let's come to this side and hover on the line and hold Alt and click to delete that. Now we still have our bigger shape. And the second reason to always zoom in on your logos and then check out for excess lines is this. Okay, so when I turn out the visibility and then zoom in, you can see that we have excess strokes over here. So I'll drag to select only those parts and grab the shape builder tool and then hold Alt and click on those two lines to delete them. Simple. Okay, so we are good, but we are not done yet. All right, so the most interesting part is about to begin, but let me go to the view and then hide the grid. Now the logo is in stroke, so you can select it and then switch it from stroke to fill. All right, so this is what we have. All right, but to make it more beautiful or interesting, we just need to turn it back to strokes and grab the direct selection tool. And as soon as you grab the direct selection tool, you can see these smaller circles appeared on the shape. And if you come down and click on this circle and hold shift on the keyboard and come and click on this circle and then you drag it in, you can round those two corners at the same time. Okay, so we are going to round it up like this and then release. Now anywhere that you click and drag, you round that corner. So I'll click here, hold shift and come and click this guy too and round them up. Okay, so anywhere that I want to round, I will just click the circle over there, click the opposite by holding shift and drag it in to round them up. If I click on this guy and then drag it down, I round that place. Now the last place I'm going to round is zoom on this guy, click and then drag in to round this place, and we are done. Okay, so now you can see that this logo is looking great. All right, and from there we can select the logo and switch it from stroke to fill. Okay, so this is what we have. But from the one that I did, I added a circle. Okay, but I didn't want it to be complicated, that's why I omitted the circle. All right, so you can go ahead and choose any color for your logo. If you want to go for gradient, it's not bad, but you can see these are the three colors for the brand. Okay, so Wolfguard, and over here this is how it works. This works on this color, and this is the white version of it on a blue, and this is it, and this guy could be used for maybe mobile phone icons and all of that, but I haven't finished this branding. Okay, Okay, so this is the last part of the basics tutorial. Check my channel page for parts 1, 2 and 3, and make sure to go through or watch my crash course on Adobe Illustrator. So if you combine the crash course and these 4-part videos, you'll be ready for professional logo design, because coming up we will be doing branding and a whole lot of that. Okay, but don't forget that I'll be adding flyer designs and, you know, as we do it, match day flyers. So kindly subscribe to stay tuned. You can call me the design chef, and this is Cool Graphics. I'm out. Peace.